believe in the commentator's curse?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to F1 Tonight Netherlands, season number 7, round 20, the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm your host, Daniel Hazzah, Burt. And joining me, as always, he's a man that gets me so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm going to lose control, but I think I bloody well like it. It's Adrian Statsrich.
Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening. How are you?
Absolutely, yeah, top of the world at the moment. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, fantastic. Sorry about that potential cuss word there in the intro. I just got too excited. I got carried away. But anyway, let's have a look then at the Constructors' Championship. That's negative. Let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. Following.
Look at the Constructors if you want.
Well, no, we'll do that one afterwards. Let's have a look at it then. Following the Grand Prix last week, which was America, and Boy Williamson still leads the way for Ferrari. He's been in that top spot for quite a while now. 357 points for him. And Nicky Visser in second place behind him. 330 points for the Toro Rosso driver. Rounding off the top three, Sildervit still in third for McLaren, 195 points for him. Then we've got Damien Hartman in the Alfa Romeo. He's fourth. Baz Denbrain, his teammate, behind him in fifth. Zana Hermans in sixth in the other Ferrari. John Donkel in the second Toro Rosso. He's seventh. And we've got Aston Eaglemears up one place after his good finish last week. He's up to eighth with 94 points. Marcel Droning drops down one spot in that case. He's down to P9 in the Red Bull. And Koen Skipper's still holding that top 10 spot for Racing Points, 72 points for him. Then we've got Guido Urshan in the Red Bull. He's P11 with Ari Kopp in 12th for Williams. Paul Correa in the Mercedes is 13th. Nishay Mahadwasing in the McLaren 14. Nils Ziekema in the Haas 15. His teammate still on hot pursuit. Brady Bavane in 16th. Marty Party Cooper in the Williams 17. 18th is Mark Schappers in the Renault, and his teammate right behind him as well, Peter Phillip in the other Renault in 19th, and Miguel Torney in P20 in the Mercedes. So, same old, same old.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's still Boy Williamson at the top 20, 27 points clear. He can win the championship here today, can't he? There's only 2 races left.
Yeah. I think all he's got to do is finish ahead of Nicky, basically. And then if Nicky doesn't finish, he's got it.
Yes, yep.
I think if Nicky finishes ahead of him by more than a point, then it carries on to Abu Dhabi.
Yes, that's right, because the gap would be 26th.
Yeah.
But sealed of it, and in third place, that's not guaranteed at the moment. It's only 16 points clear of Damien Hartman, who is on top form at the moment, actually, isn't he? He won a couple of races ago. I think he had sort of average race at the last one, but yeah, expect him to do well here. He probably want a bit of revenge for last season in his championship fight against
Nicky.
Against Nicky.
Yeah, he retired, didn't he? Got a puncher off of the The flying rear wing from Boy Williamson's Red Bull.
That's
season.
right, yeah. Nicky's teammate, threw his wing at Damie's tyre. And
then lost it going up the hill through sector 3, and that was it. Game over.
Yeah, that's right.
Championship to Nicky.
Further down the field, you've got a few changes there, and John Donko out for the remainder of the season. Obviously, his wife's given birth to a newborn baby.
Indeed.
Congratulations to them. To a fully grown one.
Yeah. Big congratulations to them. Of course, that's why he's not with us for the rest of the season, as he said.
That's right. But congratulations to him. But he's currently 7th place. That is under extreme danger, really, of being overtaken by Aston Egelmez and indeed Koen Skippers as well, the two Force Indians. No, don't say that, Adrian. Racing Points.
Easily done.
It's never going to go away, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
Drilled into my head. But he's certainly in risk of losing that 7th place.
Yeah, he is. And of course, the second half of the championship, sort of 11th to 14th. They're really in a bit of a scrap at the moment, and then 15th down to the back of the grid as well. They're all sort of really tussling for position. They're not spread out by too much at all, really. So it's the second half of the championship. Really, quite a lot can change there.
Yeah, and that's really been that way pretty much all season. All it takes is a couple of half decent results for any of those drivers, and they'll easily mix themselves up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how the Constructors' Championship looks then, following the USA last week. So Ferrari still lead the way, 493 points for them. They can seal the Constructors' Championship this evening with only 88 points left on offer, including tonight's race. P2 is Toro Rosso, 431 points for them. Alfa Romeo still in third, 327 points. McLaren in fourth, 232. Racing Point fifth, 166 points for those guys. Red Bull P6, 134 points for them. We've got Williams in seventh with 53 points. Mercedes in eighth with 41. Haas in ninth with 27. And Renault in 10th with 14. There's definitely some room for manoeuvre. 7th down to 10th for sure, and even Red Bull jumping up back to take back P5 from the Racing Point chaps, isn't there? But I think it looks a bit set in stone elsewhere.
Pretty much. Yeah, certainly nowhere near as much possible room for movement here at this late stage in the championship as there is in the drivers one. But we'll see what happens. I think those bottom four could mix themselves up before the end, but remains to be seen. I'm still waiting for Renault to sort of get their act together really this season. Down in 10th on 14 points. Both drivers are capable of much more. Verstappen has had podiums in the past, and Peter Phillips, I don't recall seeing him on the podium, but he certainly finished fourth at many races in the past. So yeah, they're absolutely no slouches, and those 14 points really don't do that team justice at all. Yeah,
indeed. I think there's sort of a few teams really up and down the order that could be sort of boasting a lot more points, aren't there? But everyone's had a bit of an up and downy season, and that just is represented here, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's have a look then at the circuit we are racing around this evening. It's, of course, the Autodromo José Carlos Pace in Brazil. Of course, the Braziliaanse Grand Prix, and this is going to be a Brazilianse Grand Prix. More like that coming right up. Circuit length 4.309 kilometers, race length 305.909, and 71 laps around this 15 corner circuit. Sector 1 leads us around the infamous Senna S and down through turn 3, that nice sweeping left-hander, onto the Reta Aposta, the back straight of this track. DRS, of course, down there into turn 4. And Sector 2 then begins from there. And then you get the very windy middle sector here, up through the many corners here, just to name a few. Descida do Lago through 4 and 5. And then we go up to Ferradura at turn 6. 7 and 8 unnamed, but still nonetheless very exciting corners. 6, 7 in particular, uphill, fast right-hander, quite tricky to get the car hooked up and quick through those 2 corners there. So drivers that can do it can gain a lot of time there in the second sector. Then you're downhill through turn 8 and into the nice tight left-hander of 9, which is Pinarino, I believe. Uphill again to turn 10 and into 11, which is Bico do Pato. I like to call it Bico do Potato. That's how it looks when I read it. And then you're downhill into Mugello, which is turn 12. According to this map I'm going, so ignore me because I'm reading out all the wrong corners. Turn 10 is the potato corner, turn 11 is Mugello, and Junchao there at turn 12, and then you're uphill through sector 3. Let's get that. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've skipped a few things there. There you go. Sector 3, uphill then through 13 and 14, and you've got that fast sweeping 2 left-handers there, 14, 15, to complete a lap of this circuit. DRS section point just before turn 2 in the Senna S, and that activates down the back straight there up to turn 4. The second point of detection there after turn 13, so you want to get a good exit out of 12, try and keep on the guy in front so you can get some DRS down the main start finish straight. That activates then down after, or just before turn 15, and down into turn 1. Of course, a speed trap just there at the end where you're going quickest. So, Adrian, what are your thoughts on this circuit?
As you know, Dan, this is I absolutely adore the Brazilian circuit, Interlagos. It's always been one of my favourites, especially to drive. I think it's just such a nice flowing circuit. It's one of the few left-handed circuits as well. I know there's a couple more these days than they used to be, but yeah, definitely one of my favourites, especially in the rain as well, which it does often
interesting.
Rain.
Yes, it's one that I like, but I can never kind of get on with it. It's one for me that as the games have gone on, I've been slower and slower at. But yeah, a very fun circuit to drive, very flowing, and it's one of those tracks that's very nice to hook together and get all the corners just perfect.
Yeah. And speaking of getting the corners perfect, turn 9 used to always catch me out. It's that uphill left-hander.
Yeah.
It was very tempting to get on the power a bit too early out there, and yeah, it's just it always spin you off. And there's actually a sort of Armco barrier on the left-hand side. It's actually quite close to the track at that point, and it almost always results in a retirement. You've only got to hit it at about 30 miles an hour for it to break the wheel off.
Yeah, there's that and turn 10 really, aren't they? Both those exits there, you can get on the power a bit early and spin the back end round. Of course, turn 10 where Lewis Hamilton took out Albon last season.
That's right.
And actually the same corner where Boy Williamson took out Damien Hartman.
It is.
In season
it is
6.
indeed.
So a bit of a controversial one there, turn 10. Watch out for that one in the race.
Who did it first?
Oh, Boy Williamson did it first.
Yes, it did, yeah.
Yeah. So then, let's have a look at the who we've got with us tonight, if you wouldn't mind going through the runners and riders.
Oh, it'd be a pleasure, Dan.
Thank you.
So we've got the 2 McLarens here, then Sil de Wit, who's currently 3rd in the championship, and his teammate Nishima Mohammed Singh. They're both here tonight. Nicky Visser is here, obviously the lone Toro Rosso driver, with John Donkle absent for the rest of the season. Baz Brain, he's here with his teammate Damien Hartman in the Alfa Romeos. Aston Egelmeers and Koen Schippers, they've been here every race this season since they joined in round 10. They're both here in the racing points. Boy Williamson, then championship leader, and his teammate Sander Hermans, who we hope is back on form. He's had a couple of quite poor results. I think he DNF'd at the last race, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So they're both here in the Ferraris. Paul Correa is the lone Mercedes. No Miguel Tourney tonight. Peter Phillips and Mark Stappers, mentioned them earlier. They're both here in the Renaults. Hopefully going to pick up a few points at least. Get them off the bottom of the table. And Ari Kopp. Ari Kopp in the Williams. He's here tonight. No Parda Cooper. And Marcel Dronig is here in the lone Red Bull, Guido Ocean is absent for this race. That's it. That's the 14 drivers we've got tonight then. So nobody will be out in Q1, or nobody will be eliminated in Q1. So obviously the top 15 go through, and then we're going to have 4 drop out in Q2.
Yeah, a lot of loners here tonight.
Yeah, just a few.
Bit of a small turnout, but certainly I'm sure we're going to put on an exciting race for us, hopefully. Nicky Visser looking strong as ever around this circuit. Obviously, as we said a couple of times already tonight, he won here last season, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Won the race and the championship.
Yeah, be looking to replicate the race winning part anyway, and hopefully fending off the championship fight until next week from Mr. Williamson.
I have a weather report for you, Dan. It's actually from Nicky Visser himself.
Oh, let's have a look.
I think he's just sent it to me.
Yeah, sorry, I meant let's have a listen, but I said look for some reason. So
okay, all right.
If you could just show me the words.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing it now. Can you see?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Dry but overcast for quali and the race, and no rain predicted tonight.
Boo.
But well, we have noticed in the past that sometimes the weather report is incorrect.
Yeah, indeed.
It's kind of random spots of normally very light rain, just randomly scattered in the race. That has happened in the past, even though the what the drivers see in their garages says that it's completely dry throughout.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Looks like everyone is. No, I lie. There's still some people out on track. Boy Williamson. Getting that back end a bit slippery there. I think maybe he's warming up the tyres out of turn 9 and 10. Both those corners that we mentioned on the track overview, a bit slippery. On exit. He's revving the car as he goes up the hill. And into the pits. That was exciting.
Nicky Visser's time there, the fastest in this session so far, 108.946. That's pretty quick considering that nobody really has to push in this session. He is, obviously everybody's automatically through. I wonder what we're actually going to see from him in Q3 then, when he is, trying. Yeah,
absolutely. It bodes well for a good lap time for sure later on, when the track rubbers in a bit more. On board with Koen Skippers here. Is not sure if he's on a hot lap or not. Doesn't look too bad at the moment. He could be on one. Looks pretty speedy. He's 200s up according to this display there.
Yeah, he is on a hot lap. It was actually slower than his personal best in the middle sector, but he's up overall on this lap. This will be an improvement.
No, he's backed out there, hasn't he?
I think he's out of fuel. He's still full throttle. He was out of fuel.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Q1 complete. Nicky Visser leads the way in the Toro Rosso, then Sildervit in second in the McLaren. And it's Paul Quarry looking good again. Third for Mercedes. Baz Den Brain in the Alfa Romeo P4 with Aston Eaglemans in the Racing Point 5th. Both Ferraris, Zander Hermans and Boy Williamson line up 6th and 7th for the moment. Koen Skippers in 8th for Racing Point. And the Renault of Peter Philip in 9th with Nisham Hadrissing rounding off the top 10 in his McLaren. Damien Harmon 11th in the Alfa Romeo. Mark Stapper's Renault is P12 with Marcel Droning in the Red Bull 13. Ari Kopp in the Williams P14. Smashing. And on to Q2. So, Mr. Rich, what are your thoughts on the strategy around here?
It's almost certainly a two-stop. The pit lane, although it appears long, it's because it's on the inside of the circuit, and the turns 1 and 2 are fairly slow. Anyway, you can get away with 2 stops here without losing too much time at all. So I predict that will be the sort of favoured strategy. Hard tyre isn't especially well, it's especially slow around here more than it is at other circuits. I think people will be avoiding it. It's more than likely going to be soft, medium. Medium is the strat. I don't know if you can stretch the softs out to try and do 2 soft stints and a medium stint.
Yeah.
We'll have to sort of wait until the race itself and see what the tyre wear is like on some of the cars. But yeah, I think the winner would definitely be doing 2 stop.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you very much as always for your lovely insight.
You're welcome. Of course, what that doesn't take into account is safety cars and
Indeed.
Weather changes, and there's all sorts of things that can have an impact on a driver's strategy.
In terms of safety car chances, it's probably mid to high, isn't it? 50% or more, I would have thought. Given.
Yeah, I just thought so. We had 2 here last season, if you remember. One of which was quite sort of controversial because I think it was Mark Stapper's. I think he was running about 9th or 10th at the time. He was a lap down. He was it was the first one to approach the safety car, and he sat behind it. The safety car was stationary as it was waiting for the race leader.
Yeah.
And it caused a bit of a sort of, not a pile up as such behind it, but it was there were drivers trying to get past, and there was a bit of confusion as to who was allowed past, and it all got a little bit messy. I'm pleased to say that everyone's a bit more sort of au fait and on the ball with safety car situations now. I've seen that since, but I think we'll certainly see one tonight.
Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, I think it happened at least one more time in maybe at Abu Dhabi or the start of this season where someone has stopped. I think it might have even been Australia, our very first race.
Yeah, it could have been actually.
Maybe,
sorry, yeah.
where someone stopped behind it again. But yeah, as you say, since then they have become au fait with safety car proceedings, and I'm pleased I was able to rhyme, as you say, with au fait, and that's really made my night.
You could have said my day.
Oh, damn it. Oh, let's restart the stream.
Yeah, restart.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Good evening.
Let's have a look and see what's coming in on the YouTube side. Thankfully, my Xbox stream is deciding to stay open when I look on YouTube tonight, so haven't got to worry about that dropping out. We've got Terry Card here as always. Welcome, Terry. Evening all. Sorry it's been a while. Yeah, actually it has been. I haven't seen him around for the last few streams, but work has been busy. Yeah, we've all been going back, and it's been absolutely awful, Terry. But we get a few days off here and there, and then we can be happy again. What else have we got? Xander, great to have you back, Terry. Absolutely. It's hard to kind of, take out the comments not worth reading as I'm going through here, reading it off live.
Go for it.
What else have we got here? Oh dear. Perhaps our commentators can give a quick summary. Xander says to Terry Card regards. Has he missed much? Well. Half the league collapsed, unfortunately, it's a tricky and perhaps somewhat controversial topic, so we won't go into it too much, but of course a great shame to lose the UK side of the league. If you did miss that, that's what happened. But we're still here and still going, so the NL League lives on. But I think that's about all you need to catch up with, really, Terry. That's the kind of the main meat of the history that's been occurring lately. Xander's atting the broadcast team, saying have fun out there. Always love your commentary. Well, thank you very much, Xander. We do our best. What else have we got? John Donkle, the new father, messaging in. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you guys back on track for Season 9, he says, so he's going to be out for Season 8 as well? maybe he will be. I don't know. I mean, obviously, in terms of F1 seasons, what is one a week? So it's only 22 weeks on the new game. I mean, that could be a paternity leave. That's fair enough. He could miss the next season.
I think that I think that is the case. Actually, I'm sure he mentioned before that he was skipping season 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so fair play to him. Of course, congratulations, as we already said. And there goes Adrian Rich commenting in. Congratulations, John. Yeah, not that guy. He's always here bothering the chat. Ari Cop, good luck, everybody. Have a nice race. And for the commentators, I say, I hope this is an interesting race with lots of action and overtakes. Fingers crossed. Get yourself in there, Ari. I want to see some from yourself, sir. MCL Joe, back again. Welcome back. He said, is the title decided? Not yet. It will be tonight, potentially. So it's going to be exciting. Well, both championships will be wrapped up tonight. If things go the way of the Ferraris, of course. And I think that's about it. All done. That's your news roundup. Back to you, Adrian.
Now for the weather. Dry.
Dry and overcast.
Slightly overcast. Lots of drivers out on the medium tyres. Obviously, the Q2 is where drivers have to start the race. If you get through to the top 10, drivers have to start the race on the tyres that they qualified, or drivers that they set their fastest lap in Q2 on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sort of a nice even spread, isn't it, of medium and soft as it stands.
It is at the moment, yeah. I think as the session progresses, I think we'll see almost all of the field on the soft tyres. That's the trouble, isn't it? Because once a few of them go onto the softs, obviously they're going to improve their lap times over the medium runners, and then that puts the medium ones at risk of dropping out, and so they have to go onto the softs as well to improve their times.
Yeah, it's a bit of a domino effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's in a way kind of. I'm trying to think what the word is, but I think it just goes to show kind of how close the drivers are in the league in a sense, because obviously if some were inherently super quick, then we would see more medium runners, wouldn't we? But everyone goes to the softs normally in Q2 we see lately, so it just kind of shows how good the matching is really of a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no driver who's ever 100% safe. Like you can say before the session begins, oh yeah, he's definitely going to be in Q3, because it's not like that in this this league.
Certainly isn't. I mean, of course, like most things, you can place your bets, but yeah, as you say, there's a good chance for everyone, which is always very nice, and a good motivational boost before qualifying.
Peter Phillips just starting his hot lap now. This is his first attempt.
Yeah, we'll stick on board with him as he comes down through the centre S there, through turn 3 now. That long sweeping left-hander onto the back straight here. DRS activated. Down into turn 4. Get the car on that curb a little bit. Want to be careful of the inside, because that can unsettle it, particularly in the race. And then up through 6 and 7. Quite a tricky double left-hander, I find. It's hard to know just which gear is best up through there. And down through turn 9, as Adrian said, the back end can step out a bit through there, but looks nicely well controlled there from Peter. And then through turn 10, again can get a bit loosey-goosey, but nice and grippy there in the Renault. Down through 11 into Junchao. Turn 13, make our way up the hill through sector 3 and back up towards the start-finish. Nice sense of speed as you come through this very fast, sort of just giant left-hand curve really, sector 3. As you come up to the start-finish line to complete your lap of the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pérez. And a 109.824 for Peter, so looking quite racy on the soft tyre there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He did run out of ERS deployment a little way before the end of the lap. I think he was in mode 5 for the entire lap. So perhaps could have gone a bit slightly quicker if he managed that a bit better. But yeah, in terms of the actual his actual driving line, and cornering speed and such. That was half decent lap, that one. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those tracks for me, personally, that I find deceptively hard to manage ERS, in the sense that it looks tiny in terms of a track. So you think, oh, I'll leave it and hot lap the whole way around because no worries.
Yeah.
But you have, as you say, you've got to save it because otherwise, like Peter, you run out just before the finish line. So there is some management required.
Yeah. I mean, this lap, despite its size, it's still sort of 60% full throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. It's funny because tracks like Monza, I have been able to, I don't know quite how, but I have been able to leave the car in hot lap and make it all the way around without running out. So, riddle me that.
The deployment limit is different for each circuit.
Oh, of course. Damn it. Make me look like a fool, Adrian. I knew that one. Rewind, restart. And cut that one out in post.
We haven't mentioned much of the top drivers in this session at the moment. Nicky Visser doing another 108.930. That's only a few thousandths off of his best in the previous session. So very consistent lap times on the same tyre. Obviously going for the soft start.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good point you make there. We've been a bit out of touch, or at least I have, as the one to point those drivers out. Been a bit out of touch with people crossing the line here and setting faster times. But yes, Nicky Visser, top of the charts yet again, and I think a bit faster than it was in Q1 as well.
Yes. I think it was 16,000.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, to the millisecond. Coon Skippers though, 109.2, so just over 3/10 shy of Nicky's time there.
Oh, Sanders just gone third as well.
Yeah, just saw him pop up there, 109.390, so he's pretty close to Skippers in the racing point ahead of him. Sildovit actually looking impressively quick there on the medium, 109.652. What's the gap to the soft tyre?
It's 7/10, so that is
nice.
Comparable on pace with Nicky's time there, the 8.9.
Yeah, he has donned some of the Red Wall tyres there. You can see on his display on the left there. Not yet left the pit lane to go on run that tyre, so we'll see if he's actually going to leave. I think he would be safe to stick to his guns on the medium.
Yeah, I think he's okay with only 2 minutes left. Fourth place, 9.6. I don't think there's many drivers that are going to bet at that.
Yeah, just watching Paul Quarry. It's going down the back straight. I'm indicating a purple in sector 1 for him.
That is correct.
That is correct. Very nice. So he's looking quick as ever, as of late with Paul Quarry.
He's really improved over the last sort of half a dozen races, especially.
He has.
I think he's steadily improved all season.
Yeah, can't quite put your finger on how. I mean, it went from kind of being in the mix to instantly right up at the front. I think starting at Mexico, if I recall correctly. Might have been Japan, but was it Japan? I think Mexico definitely. He was right up there. I think he led the race in Mexico for a little while.
Yeah, he did indeed, yes.
And since then he's well, I was going to say he's not looked back, but that's the only place he's had to look really, because that's where all the drivers are. But,
P3.
Been behind him, yeah, and P3 there for Paul.
So I've got double purple sectors from Basden Brain just coming across the start finish now. In fact, I think he's got a Ferrari ahead of him, towing him along.
Yeah. Was he in the Ferrari last season, Baz?
Baz, you put me on the spot now.
Yeah, sorry, I think he was.
He has driven Ferrari 2 or 3 seasons. It wasn't last season. It was.
No. Where was he last season?
I want to say McLaren with Guido.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yes.
He finished runner-up in the constructors 3 times with Ferrari.
Yep. Very close at the top though. Less than a tenth, or just over a tenth between the top 3. As we look at the gap there to the leader, there you go, 1.1 tenths to the leader Basden Brain from Boy Williamson, and only a tenth and 3/4 to Damien Hartman. It's pretty. I mean, there's 3 tenths between the top 7.
I know still De Wit was in danger of being knocked out. He was dropped all the way down to 10th place. He was 3rd at one point on that 9.6. So yeah, I take back what I said. I didn't think there were many that were going to beat him.
Yeah, I didn't either. But yeah, he's stuck to his guns, and it's paid off. So he will be starting on the medium. I've still seen 0 laps against a soft tyre there. So
I wonder if he's actually crashed because his time is a 9.6, which is slower than the driver ahead of him. A 9.7. Sorry, quicker than the driver ahead of him.
Yeah, no, he did crash. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, he did.
Oh dear.
Damn it. That could have been a bit of a Verstappen in the mix there. If he could start on the medium tyre amongst all the softs. Oh well, he's... I mean, I presume he will be 10th though still, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was. He's technically through. He's technically in Q3. He just won't be participating in it.
Yeah.
So we'd only have 9 drivers in the session.
Indeed, and there you go. So our qualifying 2 qualifiers through to Q3. Baz Brayton then in the Alfa Romeo P1 with Nicky Visser in the Toro Rosso 2nd. Boy Williamson 3rd for Ferrari with Alfa Romeo's Damien Hartman in P4. Paul Quarret in 5th for Mercedes. Aston Eagle Mears and Kuhn Skippers in the Racing Points lineup 6th and 7th. Zana Hermans in the other Ferrari P8 with Nishima Haddelsing in the McLaren, only one going through after Sildovit's DNF. He's P9. And we've got Sildovit in the McLaren, Peter Philip in the Renault, Marcel Droning in the Red Bull, Ari Kopp in the Williams, and Mark Stappers in the 2nd Renault, all dropping out of Q2.
You can see that everybody opting for the soft tyres in the end then.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Sildovit will be the furthest driver up, who, at least for now, starts on the mediums, but I don't know if he'll have choice of tyre, will he?
He won't. He won't,
because he's in all top 10.
He's got the worst of both worlds. He's into the top 10, so you have to use the tyre he used in Q2 to start the race. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Something else.
And something else was to be said as well. Other words added.
What was that? I don't know. It's completely gone.
Oh,
I'm getting old. Angel.
Oh, delicious. Drinking a nice fridge chocolate milkshake.
Lovely.
Sponsored. Sponsors of this video, fridge chocolate milkshakes.
Oh, wait, are you trying to get us banned?
I don't think we could get banned for saying that, could we?
Oh, can we? I don't know.
Can we?
We get banned for not doing anything wrong.
Sensodyne toothpaste, keeping your teeth minty fresh. Anything you want to add? Do you want to be sponsored by anything? NordVPN? Apparently that's a classic.
Oh god, go away.
Do you want to protect your network whilst you're playing your precious F1 2019 races? NordVPN can do just that. Oh, tough crowd. Damn it, Adrian. You're supposed to laugh, even if they're not funny.
Look, we can add it in later. Don't worry about it.
No. The moment's ruined. So, Kuhn Skippers will be leading the drivers around to get us underway for the first flying laps here in Q3. Making his way up out of Zhongzhou and up the hill through turn 14 and 15. Gets his lap underway. He's got his teammate just behind him, so perhaps a bit of towing going on here and there, maybe? I think he's a bit too far back to really benefit from that. But it's the thought that counts.
Indeed. Sometimes it can be a morale boost, though, you know, to do your qualifying laps with your teammate in sight.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I think Aston did go purple for a second, but Damien Hartman has now taken it, I think. No, Nicky Visser has now.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. We'll still ball with Kuhn, though, as he comes around turn 9. Interesting bit of curb there on the exit. Then through turn 10. I take a very tight line through there, I'm beginning to realise, compared to most people.
Yeah, I think I do as well.
Yeah,
Perhaps I picked that up from you.
Maybe, yeah.
Videos, so much.
Yeah. I go right to kind of the edge of the track into turn 10 and then kind of sweep across the apex down through the corner, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kuhn Skippers though goes P1 for the moment, 109.5, but his teammate beats him right away, 109.2. Damien Hartman though, 108.991 to go P1, but Nicky Visser does it, 108.779. Nisha Madelsing slots in P5, 109.662. And Zander Hermans will be the next one to cross the line in the Ferrari. See what he can do. Yeah, 109 something, 109.536. So he's in the mix. Just more rhymes coming out. And yet no more laughs. Just more and more disappointment. Ah, dear. And Nisha Madelsing slots in. No, that was Zander, sorry, that pushed him down to P6.
Oh, Dan, sorry, we forgot to say who we think is going to be on pole.
Damn it! Nicky Visser.
I'm going to go with Aston Eggleman.
Yeah, nice.
I would have gone Silvervit if he was in the session, but he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's see what Paul can do. It'd be good to see Paul right up at the front. Let's see if he can pull some magic out the bag here in Q3. Yellow flags in 1. That's for Niche going slowly by the looks of it. Up around turn 15 then, that little left-hand kink. Cross the line, 109.5, so definitely not out of the race yet. He's well in the mix with P4 and P6 there, and only a couple of attempts away from the top 3. Boy Williamson crosses the line there, he goes P3, 109.1. And so far, after, well, almost all the hot laps there, Basden Brain, I feel, will be waiting till the very end to do his, by the looks of it. But Nicky Visser doing all he needs to do at the moment to keep that championship fight alive to the very last moment.
I would love to see Paul Correa on pole at this Prix.
I would as well. Just when I was looking through the runners in Q2, I realised we haven't got Miguel Tawney tonight.
No,
which is
that's right.
A shame. I want that man to get the points. Come on, Miguel. I mean, part of the problem is though, like I hinted at in Q2, with these guys being, you know, they're not all the same pace. Of course, there are drivers that are quicker than others. You can tell from the championship and from the regular Q3 appearances, but
yeah.
All the drivers are capable of being quick, and someone's always kind of got to finish round the bottom in that instance. I mean, not every time, of course. When everyone is equally fast or has equal opportunities to be quick, it can change often. But I feel like Miguel's got the worst hand often in a lot of these races.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Just been a bit of an unfortunate season for him.
I think if he can, you know, pace aside for one moment, I think if he can work on just his consistency and just finishing a Grand Prix, I think that can help, because there are times where we've had less than 10 people finish. And I've got a fake purple sector for Paul Correa.
I was hoping that was real.
No, it wasn't. It was 3 tenths down on pole in the middle and 2 in the first. I think this is going to be about a 9.3 or so.
Yeah, it goes P5 for now, 109.2, so he takes about 2 tenths off of his last lap. Keep pushing, Paul. Got one more lap in that, I reckon.
It's a very short lap here as well, so
yeah.
You know, people do have time to do 3 runs.
Yeah.
Actually leave the pit with sort of a minute and a half remaining, and you'll be able to do your lap.
The pit's another part of this track that's a bit deceptive, in the sense that it looks, you feel like you can just go flat out through it because it's kind of there's not much. I mean, it's effectively all exit, isn't it, at the end? And it's no speed limit, and it's effectively its own little bonus racetrack.
It is.
I've definitely knocked my end plates off a few times going out of there a bit too quickly, which can ruin your qualifying if you do that.
Yeah, it's quite unique in that respect, isn't it? There's not many pit lanes that have a sort of miniature racetrack as the exit.
Yeah. No, I can only think of one, and that's Abu Dhabi, where we go to next week.
Yes.
But I mean, no, it's nowhere near as sort of extensive as the exit at Brazil, but you certainly got the nice echo tunnel, and and yeah, the exit uphill from there.
I haven't tried Abu Dhabi on the new game yet.
Oh yeah, to see if there's
beefed up even more.
I hope so. Louder the better.
Oh, new purple first sector for Damie Hartman. It's only a smidge faster than Nicky. Oh no, is he backed out? Yeah, he's backed out.
Yeah. Yeah, and a smidge is all he needs, really, isn't it? With that gap, it's just over 2/10. And in the dying parts of Q3, that's you can come across 2/10 quite easily, I think.
Yes. What's he doing? I think he's coming in. He's going to come in, put fresher tyres on the car and go back out.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Aston Eagle Me is revving up here for... Oh no, he's back into the pits, so ignore me on that one.
And I think decisions that drivers make, but like when in situations like this, where they've got 2.5 minutes left, they know it's a short circuit, they could do another lap on that set of tyres, but to make the call to come in and put fresh boots on the car and then go out, I think that's kind of a sign of a very competent driver. There are some drivers who kind of drive oblivious to all these little nuances and things, and just kind of let the game do the thinking for them. But yeah, to sort of make the call and just understand that you've actually got time to come in and put tyres with a bit more grip. Yeah. And then go out and possibly get pole. I think that's a sign of a champion, really.
Indeed. Yeah, I think at first glance into the unfamiliar with this series of games, you might just think, oh, it's just any other racing game. You just drive around a track and go fast, and that's it. But you're effectively, I mean, to put it simply, and also to make it sound complicated all at the same time, you're effectively you're your own team boss in that car, while running 100% race with up to 19 other drivers all trying to beat you at the same time. There's so much. You've got to have a really strategical head on your shoulders, as well as a quick one to kind of be successful in this game. As Baz Brain goes, sorry Adrian, Baz Brain there going 1:087, just behind Nicky Visser in P2.
That was a purple. No, sorry, no, it was Damie I was looking at. I thought it was a purple sector for Baz. Yeah, no purples for him, but yeah, very little, only 6.7 off of Visser.
Yeah, very close. Now that is going to be his only shot at pole, I think, but a good one nonetheless, and that could stick as P2 depending on how the others behind him can improve. Well, are you going to add anything to what I was saying, Adrian, before I sort of carry on?
I was, but I've completely forgotten.
No worries. So Damie Hartman's getting his hot lap underway. I'm not sure who. Boy Williamson is on one as well. Is he on one? He's got barely any ERS left, so I hope not.
Is he on one?
Well, I think he is, but he might as well give up. To put it bluntly, I'm afraid he's got no ERS left. That's a shame. So looks like P4 for Boy Williamson for now. Paul Poiret.
So sorry to interrupt, Dan. New purple for Nicky Visser.
Okay, yeah.
Why is he driving slowly?
It sounds like he is, yeah. I feel like he's given up on that one. Damie Hartman, what are you doing, sir? He's still going mode 5. Just have a look at Coonskip as well. Sorry, is it Aston? Who's that car down there that I can see? That's Paul. He's not on a hot lap though, so we'll go back to Damie, see what he can do. I think he's going to be the last driver to potentially set a quicker lap time here.
Don't think so. Will be white sectors in first and the second.
Okay. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, he goes
he's done
P1! Wow! And you ran out of deployment at the end, like miles before the finish line as well. So he had, I reckon he had a 108.6 maybe in there. If he'd saved some more ERS.
That's remarkable. His first sector was not his fastest. His second sector was not his fastest. His last sector was not the fastest. And yet, he's taken pole position. Yeah,
by just over 2/10 of a second. Sorry, 2/100ths of a second from Nicky Visser. Well, I think Boy Williamson will be perhaps, quietly confident now that his title rival's not right at the front and has got a bit of a fight to be done into turn 1. And this could be really fun. Any more rhymes I can add on there? This could be a good one. I might tell my mum.
Sorry about this. I'm done.
Oh, very good. Fantastic. There we go. Q3 results then. Damien Hartman on pole position for Alfa Romeo. Just pipping Nicky Visser to pole in the Toro Rosso. He starts P2. As then Brain in the second Alfa Romeo, P3, so a good qualifying from them. Boy Williamson starts 4th for Ferrari with Aston Gomez in Racing Point P5. Zander Hermans in the Ferrari P6. Paul Quarret in the Mercedes P7. Kuhn Skippers in the Racing Point P8. And Nisha Mahadasing in the McLaren P9.
Just to put that gap at the top there into perspective, at 0.024, that's about half the time it takes for a person to click their fingers.
I can't even do that.
Can you not?
I can't click my fingers, no. No. I thought I was lucky because it seemed like some people can click their fingers, some people can whistle, but I didn't think people could do both. So I could whistle, and I always believed that was like, okay, I've got that, but I can't click my fingers. But then I found out people can do both, and I was like, damn. I just can't click the fingers. I'm just a loser.
Will you stop all this self-deprivation?
I'm just a loser.
It's not justified at
all. What was I going to say about something or other? And, things about stuff. Words and mumblings, small ramblings. Oh, silly Billy. Oh, yeah, that was it. The top 3 were 300ths of a second apart, just to emphasise that as well. It wasn't just the top 2, it was the top 3 all so close. And both of them Alfa Romeos as well, so they're having a bit of a comeback tonight. Similar to USA, they were pretty quick there as well last week.
Yes, they were.
Let's see how we're doing in the comments section. Skippers for pole and Boy for the win, says Terry Card. Well, you got the first one wrong, and we'll find out about the second one later on tonight. Where did Skippers start? Kuhn Skippers for pole, he said, and Boy for the win.
Okay.
So yeah, well, Boy's the man that needs to win if he wants to get the championship here tonight. I mean, he hasn't got to win. He's got to finish ahead of Nicky or less than 2 points behind him. So either 10th and 9th, but I doubt we'll see them that low down the grid.
I'll be honest, then I don't think he's going to do it tonight.
No,
I don't think he'll beat Nicky.
Yeah, Nicky's inherently fast around here, isn't he? It's definitely one of his best tracks. Yeah, there was a couple of attempts, wasn't there, between them in qualifying, which there hasn't been for most of the races up until now. So yeah, I think I think realistically he probably will do it at Abu Dhabi. Because I think if he's gonna lose out in terms of points to Nicky, it's not gonna be by much. At the moment, that 27-point gap might be down to 20, maybe, at the end of the race, if they get a 1-2, the two of them. Maybe 21 points if Boy can secure the fastest lap. And then, of course, then it looks really good for him into the last race. 20-point gap. Only 26 points on offer.
Yeah, he'll only need to finish 7th place, and he'll guarantee the championship.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Is it? What do you get for 7? Is it 7th place? Is it 4 points?
6 points.
Oh, 6 points. Yeah. Yeah. So provided it was 21 points after this race, then yeah, P7 would be enough, wouldn't it? I don't know if they drew on points. I don't know what the count back would be in terms of who's got the most wins. I think is it Boy still?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I think Boy. What is this race 20? I have to look back at the charts now. I'm sure Boy's won sort of 8 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done well.
I don't think. Yeah.
Terry Card saying safety car on the first lap. I wouldn't put it past this track.
Yeah, very possible.
I could see turn 1 being a bit of a mess. It's definitely one of the harder turn 1s or first turns. Quite similar to what Istanbul used to be, isn't it? With that downhill left-hander.
Oh yeah, good shout. Yep. Yes, it is.
Into that, but then it kind of went uphill again into that right, didn't it? Rather than kind of just leveling out through the S that we've got here. But yeah, well, it's one of those corners that lends itself to a bit of a sloppy turn 1, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, especially with as it goes downhill and you've got the it's like sort of negative G-force, isn't it? As the car sort of lifts.
Yeah.
Sort of becomes lighter as it goes downhill. It can unsettle the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favourite for the win then tonight?
Yeah, sorry, that was just a sigh of thinking. Do you know what? Do you know what, Adrian? Just to be clear, I think it's Nikki, but because that way I've covered a few bases with that.
Yeah, that's smart.
like you've done a few times. Well,
I was gonna go with.
Well, I was gonna go with that person just in case they win, but I'm gonna say Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think it could, the planets could align.
It is always nice when a driver wins a championship with a win in the race. It's not something we've really seen in sort of real life F1 for some time. But it'd be nice if that does happen. As I said, I don't think Boy will beat Nicky. But I'm not sure Nicky will win the race either.
Okay.
I think it could, with just purely based on that qualifying pace. I know he's only a smidge ahead of the other two, but I think Damie Hartman could win this.
Yeah, it's a very good shout. I mean, realistically, if you base your predictions on the results in qualifying, there's Bazden Brains in the mix there as well, isn't it? I mean, they were all really close at the top three. So I think we've definitely got an exciting one on our hands, people, and only a couple of seconds here until we get the formation up underway. Be sure to stick around as we go through the runners and riders here as they start their parade lap. So, leading the way from pole, it's been a little while, I think, since did he have pole in Mexico? I'm not too sure.
Yes,
he did. Yeah, so he's on a bit of a good run of form in qualifying lately. Damien Hartman then leads the pack round through turn 3. Behind him is Nicky Visser, championship runner-up as it stands. And this is the race to keep that fight going to the last round. This is a very big one for him. He's certainly the one with the most to lose, I think. Maybe Boy is. I mean, he's the one after all going for the championship, but certainly Nicky wants to keep that going. Bazden Brain is P3 in the Alfa Romeo. And Boy Williamson then, championship leader, and could do it tonight and claim his first title after God knows how many P2s in the standings. Adrian, do you recall correctly off the top of your head?
What do you think I am? Some sort of stat freak?
Absolutely.
That's a negative on this occasion. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid.
No, not at all. But it's definitely a good view. Aston Ingram is in P5 in the Racing Point, and Zander Hermans in the sister Ferrari there, P6 for him. And these guys need a good race to seal the deal on the constructors. Certainly looks good with two of them versus one of the Toro Rosso. So I think this one should be in the bag tonight. Paul Corey in the Mercedes P7. With Kuhn Skippers in the Racing Point P8. And it's Nisham Hadwasing in the first McLaren, lining up 1 and 2 there, P9 and P10. Sildovit in 10th. The only one there, I believe, on the medium compound. So, could be a bit of a dark horse in this race. We'll see how that plays out. Peter Phillip is P11. I need to hurry up now. Marcel Troning is P12. Ari Kopp. P14, I've still got Zander Hermans on the screen. I'm getting rushing. Ari Kopp. Oh, Mark Stappers is there as well. Here we go. And here come the lights. Oh, there's all 4 at once. And there's the 5th one. And we're away. Let's see how those starts go. Looks like a good one from Damien Hartman. Nicky Visser still keeps P2 there, but Baz Brain goes round the outside. Does he know Nicky Visser keeps him at bay? So holds on to P2. Baz Brain into 3rd. The 2 Ferraris getting off well. Boy Williamson still in 4th. Zander Hermans up 1 place. Aston Eagleman drops a spot, but his teammate Kuhn Skipper's up 1, so they're together on track. Paul Corey falling down the order a bit, but Marcel Droning also getting a lovely start there, up to P9. And Ari Kopp and Mark Stappers as well, up 1 place each. So,
Yep.
But all nice and clean through turn 1.
That's right. Yeah, it looks nice and tidy. No repeat of 2 seasons ago in for Baz Brain where he crashed out on turn 1. This race was just keeping an eye on him. That's good. Sildovit has let his teammate pass. It's Mahadra Singh just ahead of him now in 10th place. Mahadra Singh starting on the soft tyres. We're still on the mediums.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just send them the viewers on the screen there just to clarify. Marcel. Oh, everything all right?
Ari Kopp just dived past Sildovit.
Oh, hello. Go on, Ari.
Oh. And so is Stappers. Oh, something happened. Sorry, something happened to Sil's car, I wonder.
No. Oh, he's got both end plates missing. I don't know quite how he's done that. Mark Stappers there running wide on the exit of Jun Chao. Just so the viewers can see, Marcel Droning, Ari Kopp, Sildovit, the only drivers currently running the medium tyre, everyone else on the soft. And Sildovit in the pits, of course, so not a great start for him. But no doubt will be eager to get back towards the front here. Change of strategy doesn't mean a bad race necessarily. I think Damien Hartman stretching his legs a bit at the front. Not quite running away with it, but certainly not under too much pressure from Nicky at the moment.
Kind of the big 5, if you like, the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, indeed.
Some very familiar names.
Yeah, I think Boy Williamson will be hoping that Baz Brain can maybe get past Nicky Visser and, or at least get in a fight with him and maybe slow him down a bit. Try and bring them all together. Still early doors though, and 69 laps to go, oi oi lads, as we continue on in this race. Damien Hartman there going fastest, 1:12.9 for him. DRS now enabled. That detection point just before turn 2 there as you go down through the centre S, so that should be looking good for Baz Brain to get onto the back of Nicky Visser.
Paul Cray looking like he's going to pass Kuhn Skippers for P7.
Let's have a look at that. There's definitely a tussle going on there. Nice inside line there for Paul Corey to sweep up the inside. Can he do it? Oh, this is brave racing. Kuhn Skippers still maintain that inside line. Paul Corey's still there though. Oh, can he keep it going? Oh, look at that. Beautiful work.
That was lovely.
Yeah, I've never seen 2 cars go side by side there so perfectly through that many corners into sector 2.
Yeah, it's great skill on the part of both of those drivers there to avoid any sort of collision and be side by side like that. It's very difficult to do.
Just highlights the amount of respect between all these drivers.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very good racing indeed. So Boy Williamson still keeping with the top 4. Looks like Nicky's got DRS on Damien Hartman now, which he didn't have, surprisingly, at the start of lap 3, so that's at least it let Baz get in the mix a bit more, I think, but he sort of dropped back a bit through the remainder of that third lap. Nicky Visser, though, right on the back of Damien Hartman there into turn 4. Hounding now for Romeo.
Skip is struggling with his ERS management at the moment. He's got absolutely nothing left at this point.
Oh yeah, and that back end looking a bit slippery as well. Just see that back end step out as he came down the hill, turn 7, or turn 8, sorry.
Yeah, he's driving that car very hard in his opening 3.5 laps.
Yeah. I don't know if Zander and Aston had a bit of a back and forth, but I am seeing Zander as having just got a place up on Aston a moment ago, so maybe that's the big challenge perhaps, I'm not quite sure.
They have not switched. Well, that was surely a warning there for Boy Williamson, cutting turn 2. And yes, indeed it was. That's the first warning for him.
Okay. Keep an eye on that then. Boy doesn't want to be doing that in this race, that's for sure. Certainly don't want to lose your chance to win it here on a penalty, that's for sure.
And the same for Nicky as well. You wouldn't want Boy to win the championship because of penalties awarded to Visser. I really hate when that does happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as annoying as penalties are for, you know, it to sway the championship in one way or another, at the end of the day, it still does. It still reflects the skill of that driver to do what they did in that race, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So even if you do win on a penalty because the guy in front got it, it's, you know, it still reflects that you did a better drive than him. Mm-hmm. As much as it isn't as exciting when they actually win on the road.
Takes a lot of skill to keep the car actually on the black stuff and between the white lines and win.
Yeah. Yeah, penalties are a cruel mistress.
Certainly are.
Yeah.
This is still only half a second behind Damien at the front. Damien's much lower on his ERS than ERS reserves. Oh, and actually nearly loses it out of was that turn 9?
Yeah, I think he's starting to feel the pressure a bit of that blue car in his rearview mirrors. Definitely looking a bit more sort of impatient there, Nicky, to get past in these last couple of laps. That middle sector really bunching up to the top 5 as well.
This top 8, only 5 seconds separate first from 8th at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a very closely matched opening couple of laps, hasn't it? Boy Williamson, though, really getting on the back of Baz Dembray, and this could be really good for him with DRS down the back straight. Of course, I'm sure Baz will have it as well on Nicky, so that could sort of nullify the effects of that, and it looks like it will do.
Skip has just tried to move on Paul Correa into turn 1. Slight contact with the front wing of the Racing Point, just made contact with the side pod of the Mercedes. No damage to either car.
Yeah, looks all good. Oh, sorry, I realise why I'm seeing that position change, because I've got the position change indicator up as a detail. So what the hell's going on with Zander Hermans and Aston Eaglemires? Why do they keep switching places? It's only because Zander Hermans overtook him at the start of the race, and that's all that's stuck on my screen. Silly me. A little bit though, interestingly enough, did pit for, looks like, more mediums, so no chance of the hard round here then.
No, like I said, people will just avoid it like the plague here. It's very, very slow.
Yeah.
And the pit lane is not long enough for it to justify using the hard tyre.
Mm-hmm.
Boy Williamson, oh, it looks like he was about to make the move for third on Baz, then braying into turn 4. Is it turn 4? Turn 3? Turn 4.
It's a turn. I'm not quite sure where it was. Sorry, I was on board with Aston. I think when that. Oh, and Aston's lost the car through turn 8. No contact, luckily for anyone there, but annoyingly he gets a penalty for that because he kind of drifted and accidentally cut the corner as a result of that. So that's a bit unfortunate there. He paid the price really with that drift and then got penalised for it as well.
Yeah, the rare mistake here. It does look like both racing point drivers then both really pushing the absolute snot out of those pink machines.
Yeah.
I mean, they normally push hard anyway. I think they might be a little bit over the limit.
Yeah, I mean, there are tracks where you can push at and get away with it, and then there are tracks where you can push at and you can't get away with it, and I feel like Brazil's one of them.
Yeah.
You know, as we touched on with the track overview at the start, there are a lot of corners here where if you are pushing and you're not quite thinking about where you're pushing, you can lose the back end quite easily, as we saw there with Aston on that last lap, and particularly that second sector really is, you've got to be on the ball through there, even though it looks like you know, a fairly docile winding part of the track, it really isn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one in that top 5 really looking they're not looking like they're out of a shot of winning this.
No, it's really not clear at the moment.
No, it certainly isn't. They're all kind of just sticking to their guns, and it's in a way, it's kind of making the race a bit well, a bit slow at the front, in a sense, because they can all kind of just pull each other around.
Yeah. Damie Hartman's just picked up a 3-second penalty.
Oh, okay.
Multiple warnings.
And Nicky Visser, as he gets that penalty, Nicky Visser gets up the inside with DRS and completes the move there. Damie Hartman running really deep. That can let his teammate get nice and close. It looks like he did get really close, and that's just released Nicky Visser now. Over a second.
I think Damie's going to let him past here.
Looks like he might do, or he's just going very defensive.
Boy's trying to sneak in as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he needs, isn't it, really? Oh, no,
contact.
they kept each other!
Oh, it's taken out Sander Hermans.
Oh my god, and there, did you see that? The racing point as well.
Yeah,
Skipper's rally crossing through there to avoid Damie's car there, as it was kind of just beached in the centre of the track there. Skipper's rally crossing yet again. I'm not quite sure if he's Dutch or if he's Finnish. the rally performance he's putting in tonight.
Surprised there's no safety car for that incident.
Yeah, I am very surprised. So Sander Herman's then out this race, and I'm not quite sure how that's. I mean, what's the gap in the constructors? It's over 50, isn't it, at the moment?
So
yeah,
I can't remember exactly. I have to look back.
Yeah, I think just a good result anyway for Boy could still seal it for them, but it's certainly not as guaranteed as it was earlier with both Ferraris in the points. That's a shame. Zander just got collected by that, didn't he, really? There's nothing he could really do in that instance. No,
he was a complete passenger. There's absolutely nothing he could do. Obviously the two Alfa Romeos, they came together, didn't they? There's a little bit of confusion, I think, between them. Damie looked like he was going to let Baz pass, but then he realised Boy Williamson was right behind him. He didn't want to let him pass as well, and both racing points both Alfa Romeos ended up side by side through turn 4, and just made contact on the exit, and it threw Damie's car into the wall. And when it bounced back onto the track, Sander Hermans just went straight into the side of it. There's absolutely nothing he could have done to avoid that. Yeah, I don't know if Damie and Baz are in a party together for these races. I don't know if they are. Yeah, they always are. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, because I could see it if you're trying to kind of display with your car, hey, you can pass me, because when you're not in a party, you kind of got to hope they can see what you're trying to do by going slow and kind of moving aside. And in that instance, then yeah, absolutely, I can see there can be confusion, and by trying to be kind of letting them pass, you end up being dangerous because you're going slowly around the track and they don't
receive the signals you're trying to give off.
Oh, Dan, sorry to interrupt you. Paul Craig's just taken third from Roy Williamson.
Yeah, very good from Mercedes there, and he should be able to hold that through Sector 2, hopefully, and maybe pull out a bit of a gap. But yeah, it's interesting. They're in a party, and yet that still happened. I thought that would prevent that, but apparently not. I'm sure there'll be some talks between them after the race. If not during, if Damie's hijacked the party now, berating Baz with... Yeah, especially a track where Damie was looking so strong as well.
Yeah, led every lap so far.
Yeah. Although at least Damie's still in it. You know, Zana Herman's really, unfortunately, didn't make the mistake, and he came out the worse off of anyone. So Nicky Visser then continues to get his 3-second penalty through the CNRS. I think that's going to be the biggest giver of penalties tonight. Easily done, isn't it?
Yeah.
You turn the wheel too soon to try and straight line the corner as best you can, and you can easily cut across that curb on the inside.
Paul Corraten is only 3.9 seconds off of the leader of this race, who has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, and effectively he is Boy Williams has got the same penalty, hasn't he?
Yes.
So he's clear of him as it stands. I think Baz Denbrain is the actual leader at the moment, technically based on penalties. I don't think Baz has got any yet. But I could be wrong. So this is the...
No, you're right.
Yep. Fantastic. So this is worst case for Boy, in the sense that Nicky's got clean air now and is using it to his advantage.
Yeah, and he's just at one purple sector in the middle. That's a 13.2 over, which makes him the second fastest man on the track after Baz Denbrain.
Sorry, Adrian. I missed that.
Oh, I was just talking blocks anyway.
Very good.
No, I was just saying, just to reiterate your point, Nicky's got clean air, much to Boy's dismay, and has also set the fastest second sector on that previous lap, and a very fast last sector. It's actually the second fastest lap so far.
Very good. Well, this could be good for Aston Eagle Mears now, although he's not looked at his strongest here tonight. I think it's the space he's got both in front and behind him is a chance for him just to kind of focus now.
Yes.
And get his race back on track, hopefully, if you pardon the pun.
Yeah, we've seen mistakes from both the Racing Point drivers, but yeah, like you say, now that Aston's got a bit of room, he can sort of gather himself and focus a bit better. Oh, Boy Williams is going to take third from Paul Correa quite easily, I think. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. Let's see. He's got the inside here through the that second part of the CNRS, but through turn 3, Paul Correa keeps it, and DRS for Paul Correa as well, thanks to being behind Boy just enough.
Yeah, again, worst of both worlds there, because Boy was looking for the overtake. Actually, got a warning as he went round turn 2.
Yeah.
He crossed that white line again, and didn't come out on top. And Paul ended up with the DRS as well.
Yeah, that's always the worst situation, when the person that you're trying to pass gets the DRS on you and you don't get it.
Yeah.
Bit of a slap in the face, really.
Just a tad.
Getting further back though, just to give the other guys a bit of the limelight. Not much is happening, so back to the front. No, what's going on? We've got Mark Stabber some 2 seconds behind Ari Kopp there. Well, Ari definitely, at least at the start of that race, as you pointed out with his move on... who was it on? Was it on Paul?
It was
on the Racing Point.
It was on injured Seal de Witt.
Ah, yes, that was it. Yes. But yeah, looking at fairly racy on the medium tyre. Peter Phillip not too far behind Marcel Droning, so that could come to fruition soon. Maybe a pass for P7. Peter certainly with the upper hand on the soft tyre, although I'm not sure quite how strong that hand is now after 15 laps. So what's the tyre life of these two tyres, do you think?
I'm not really seeing the times come down too much from the soft runners at the moment. So I think the softs will do. We'll give them 5 more laps. The mediums then will do. Generally speaking, the mediums will do half the race for most cases. I don't know if that is the case here, but I think we can safely assume 30 laps from the medium tyres.
Okay. What do you think about 20, 25 for them from the softs?
I'd be surprised if they get to 25.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on their pace then. This battle for P2 still is going strong. And Paul Correa now, obviously with the benefit of DRS on Baz Denbrain, is starting to edge away from Boy a little bit.
Oh, Paul Correa nearly into the back of Denbrain.
Yeah, that's going to let Boy back into the battle here.
Well, Williamson with a personal best lap on that last one, so he's clearly pushing to close the gap to Paul Correa, which he has now done.
Yeah.
And he's got full ERS as well.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
I think Boy's certainly going to be bringing the fight back to Nicky now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly not over yet. As good as it looks for Nicky right now, it's definitely not over. Anything can happen.
Paul Correa's completely out of ERS. I expect the move to be made into turn 4, and that's a 3-second penalty for Correa as well. He's just cut turn 2.
Yeah, just ran wide on the exit. Look at Baz Denbrain high-fiving the fans this time as he goes goes past the arm coat.
It's a classic Alfa Romeo tradition.
Yeah. High fives all round.
Trouble is, the Alfa Romeos tried to high five each other in this race.
Yeah. That didn't work so well.
Oh, did Boyd just tag the back of Correa just then?
No. There could be some of that, because I know you've said before on your telemetry app, you can get a percentage of damage that isn't visible, can't you?
Yeah, up to 5% before something actually falls off.
So he could have some unseen damage if he did actually knock him. Which of course, with simulation damage that's run at F1 tonight, it could definitely affect the pace of that Ferrari. And
Paul, I was just going to say,
Denbrain darting into the pits.
Yeah, Paul actually made the pass on Denbrain just before he came in.
Just in the nick of time. Let's see what Baz Denbrain comes onto now then. Medium tyres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his strategy, chosen then, soft, medium.
Yep.
Unless he can get these tyres up to lap 52, which I don't think he can. But if he can go onto the softs.
That's 33 laps, isn't it?
Yeah.
52. I mean, 30 laps is the kind of lifespan. Do you think he could push another 3 laps out of it with not too much trouble, or?
Maybe, but that 30 lap estimate is based on the soft tyres doing 20, and the softs don't look like they actually can do 20.
Yeah, what we've seen, the leader's on 18 laps so far. Well, everyone on the soft tyre currently on 18.
Although they're on 18 laps, and both P1 and P2 have set personal best times. 13 zeros for both Correa and Visser.
Yes, maybe there is still. Yeah, I mean, Peter Phillip isn't struggling to keep with Marcel Droning, who he's actually caught up with now, although he did run a bit wide through Potato Corner. And up through Junshao now. Hopefully he can. I think he'll have DRS here, so maybe have a move into turn 1, although Marcel got a lot of ERS in that Red Bull. He could be fending off from the Renault. And it looks like, yeah, job done. for now. Of course, the tricky bit for Marcel is another DRS zone right after that. And Peter's going to have that one as well. Although he's not using any ARS to, to complement the DRS that he's got, so it's not really closing that gap up too much. Marcel lives to fight another day in P7.
Oh, Sildovic just passed Ari Kopp. That is for 9th place. That was into turn 4 under DRS.
Very nice. Bit of payback there for the opening rounds. The opening lap, sorry. Skipper's right on the gearbox of Mark Stapper's as well. These guys both having stopped earlier on. I think they both had damage. We saw Mark off track as well. In the opening couple of laps. Looks like they're on the same kind of wavelength with tyre choice there. As Dembray goes fastest.
Yep, he's the only one on new tyres.
Indeed. And now lap 20 then for the soft tyres, or the soft runners. This will be a giveaway here to see kind of what pace they, or what distance they've got in them, if they're going to come in this lap or continue on. Might help our medium tyre length estimates.
Paul Crate is matching Nicky Visser's lap every lap for the last 5 laps.
Very nice. And Kuhn Skipper's passed Ari Kopp into turn 4. He's up to P10. He'll be on a bit of a charge here to get back up into the top, top 5. I would have thought at some point. Boy Williamson then does come in on lap 20. Championship leader into the pits. That's the potential championship winning race onto a fresh set of mediums. Now he could do a soft, medium, soft, couldn't he? Do you think? Yes. Yeah, effectively he could do.
Yes, because if he's done 21 on the softs, he's only got to get these to lap 50. That would be 28 laps on the medium. Yep, I think that might be his strategy: soft, medium, soft.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one. Lap 22 of 71. There's 49 laps remaining.
Just goes to show you, doesn't it, what difference just 3 more laps can make on a set of tyres. You can then change your final tyre compound. Indeed.
Alright, Cop still steaking. Oh, still keeping. that was a combination of keeping and sticking. I said both at once. He's still keeping with the Mark Stappers there, although Mark on that soft tyre certainly has the upper hand through the middle sector there. Dustin Eagle Mears gets another penalty.
Speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, that was speeding in the pit lane, was it? Lovely.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
It's the worst one. The worst one. Out he comes. Oh, just straight into the wall!
Oh, no.
On the exit of the pit lane, no! Aston Eagle Mears is out of this race. Yeah, his car has gone through the pit wall and onto the track. The safety car coming out there.
Yeah, expect all of the remaining soft runners into the pit. Then.
Oh, look at this!
Well, in fact, everyone who hasn't pitted will be in.
For Mr. Skippers here, he's come in just as it came out onto a fresh set of mediums. This could be an inspired choice. Do you think?
It could well be. Some may say it was planned.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm sure it wasn't.
He's been held up there, that's for sure, with all the cars coming in around him. Blimey, guys. Get your boy back out there. So Ari Kops come in and back out now on some fresh softs. Mark Stapper's on fresh mediums. Both the leaders coming in. Nicky off 23 laps old. I presume that was a planned stop at this point for Nicky at least.
Yep.
That's on to mediums for him. Paul Quarret on softs, interestingly enough. Perhaps want to take advantage of the restart here, and perhaps take Nicky at the restart if you can.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Obviously, you certainly will have the You would have hoped at least to have the grip at the restart with the easier to warm up soft tyres.
Also worth noting then that this safety car is going to bring Damie Hartman back into the mix. He's currently running last in the 12th place. He's a minute and a half, or he was a minute and a half behind the race leader. He's now going to be, well, once he reaches the back of the pack, he'll only be sort of 5 seconds at the most behind him.
Yep. Sort of it in as well. It's a double stack for McLaren. Fairly slick. He's in and out on softs as well. So a couple of guys opting for the soft stint here in this sort of centre part of the race. Of course, Sil has run both compounds now, hasn't he? So he can actually do another soft stint if he wants to. If he's got the compounds left to run, which he might do, given that he did mediums in Q2.
Yeah.
So he could have a refresh
might
there.
be the case.
So that's 40 laps on a complete racing, or sort of 40 racing laps. So with the safety car being out, maybe for a couple more, it's going to be close, isn't it, to get 2 soft stints to the end, depending on how long the safety car stays out.
What have we got remaining? 47 laps plus the end of this one. Well, we've seen drivers take the softs 22 laps anyway. I think you can do that quite easily, because there'll be much less fuel in the car coming in as you near the end of the race. Than there was at the start, and they did 22 laps at the start on softs. So yeah, I think soft from here is fine.
See how boys 3-lap-old softs will take this restart. He didn't stop again during the safety car, did he?
He did not. He's on mediums, isn't he?
Yeah. I say soft.
Yep.
My apologies.
And so you should.
Unbelievable.
That was a joke, just FYI.
Oh, I'm really hurt. Really upset. I need a break. I need a rest.
Okay. Need a rest.
What have we got in the comments here? Terry Card saying boy takes title tonight with Sanders making it a 1-2. Oh, not the case anymore, I'm afraid. My boy can still do it. Terry Card, the way Skipper is driving, you would think it was raining. Oh, what a classic from Terry. Little joker. He was definitely all over the place there, that's for sure. Safety car coming in though, so I will defer back to the racers here. We'll go on board with Paul Quarry, see how well Nicky Visser can pull away.
Keep an eye on the back.
Yeah. And anytime now, Nicky. Go. Go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. And he's off. And, I say, Buzz Brain got a great run on Paul Quarry, almost into the back of him. Oh, I've seen some debris, have I? Is there an issue behind? Oh. Boy Williamson is down to P8.
It does look like there's an end plate missing on the Ferrari. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe just ran a bit wide into turn 1 then. Let's see what Paul can do. This is your time to shine, mate. Got the grippier tyres through the windier part of the track.
Skipper's very wide into turn 6. She's got picked up a 3-second penalty.
Yeah. What Paul can do. Nicky defending well with the RS here, but the slipstream and a strong challenge from Paul Quarry could bring him right up behind that Toro Rosso. We go down through the centre S again. Sildavit looks like he's got up past. Oh no, Peter Phillip and Sildavit's gone round or half round. No. Boy Williamson will be saying thank you. Back up to P7 for the Ferrari. Go back and forth with Paul. Can't quite do it yet. Stay strong though, Paul. I think he is leading the race technically on penalties.
Yes, he is, yeah.
Has he been on the podium yet this season?
No.
No. Surprising, really, isn't it, given his performance in the recent races?
Yeah, that's right. He has qualified on the front row before.
Yeah. So Boy back up to P7 then. Need to get a wiggle on. Just to remind people, my backup was Nicky for the win. Who did you choose? Amy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remain. I'm sticking with that decision.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, because I can't change it.
Well, you can quickly suggest a backup. I was going to choose him, but I thought, Damie was the one.
Nicky Vista with a bit of a four-wheel drift into turn 4. That was quite spectacular from Paul Carre's view.
Lovely. I wish I'd got that. Luckily, your description did it justice. So half a second, or just over now. Split the top 2. And they are stretching their legs a bit from the rest of the pack. That's Dembrayan in sort of in free air a little bit. He's got Nissim Hadwasing, who's been a bit of a quiet one in the opening part of this race, but he's been in the top 5 for most of it. Sort of flying the flag from McLaren, really, is in his opening portion of the race. He's definitely not disappointing at the moment, running P4 and keeping up with Baz ahead of him. So Damie's got past Mark Stappers there for P10.
Yeah, that was on the DRS on the start finish. It's quite an easy move, and picks up a 3 second time penalty for cutting turn 1.
Damn. Oh, Boy Williamson up to P6 there, past Peter Phillip. Nice move from the Ferrari.
He's a man on a mission, isn't he, Boy?
He's got to be now, hasn't he? I think it's sort of clicked in his head. But damn, I'm P6 here. I want to try and win the championship right now. He got his work cut out, but still over halfway to go. This Brazilian Grand Prix.
Never really been an especially strong track for Boy Williamson.
No, I mean, of course, last time we saw him race here, he decided to shed his wing into the path.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, the lead has just changed.
It's changed back. Yeah, I saw the arrow.
Sorry about that.
No, not at all. It could change again here. Let's see. Paul is right on the gearbox for that Toro Rosso. Go on, Paul. Oh, good defence from Nicky though. But that grippy soft tyre. Can he hold it on the outside? Not quite. Sticks with him. Save the ERS now. Get out of mode 5. He's too focused on driving that car and not managing it so much. No, back down to mode 1 now. That's good. He'll need it because, well, actually, Nicky's also vulnerable here for ERS. They're both kind of matched here for the ERS saving. Not that. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry, I interrupted your flow, sorry.
I was just going to say, not that not that Paul will know that. Of course, you can't tell the ERS levels of the cars you're racing against, so you've got to kind of guess.
But you can tell when they're in mode 0.
Yeah, and that little light on the back flashes. And here we go again, this could be it. Around the outside of Paul Quarre, down into turn 1. Can Nicky get him in the brakes again? Not this time. And there you go, controls the flow through the centre S as he gets on the exit. And up to P1 for the moment, Paul Quarry, and Nicky's got some work cut out here, hasn't he, Adrian? Because he's got a penalty, as does Paul, I think now actually. So they're both kind of level
they're
pegging.
even Stevens. I think Nicky's going to take the position back.
Yeah.
So we were going to see what we saw earlier on with Koen Skippers and who was it? Ran the other side.
Damn! Oh, Paul Quarry.
Yeah, Paul Quarry.
Yeah. He's done it once. He can do it again. This is good now. Paul just needs to get into a bit of a rhythm here of knowing where to push, knowing where to save. Got the grippier tyre by some margin at this point. He can start to stretch his legs a bit. And I'm sorry, I probably made you forget what you were going to say earlier when...
No.
Oh, yes, go on.
It was sort of it making them pass on Peter Phillips into turn 8.
Oh, nice.
After the move was complete, Phillips actually went wide and then was very late onto the brake and hit the back of Sildovit and actually knocked him slightly off track. I think there's some minor damage to the Renault.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a right end plate missing on the yellow car there. The racing banana.
Heard a lovely phrase on the radio today. Calmer than a banana.
Oh, very nice. Bit of a tongue twister in itself.
Yeah.
Calmer than a banana. I don't think there's anyone on this track right now that's calmer than a banana. It's all go, go, go. No one's really got time to relax. A little bit goes purple. 112.1. No one breaching the 112s yet.
No, not yet.
Peter Phillip comes into the pits there to change his wing, I would have thought. The question is, can Paul Quarry win this race?
I think he can.
I do.
I genuinely think he can. He's got such great pace. I appreciate he's on the softer tyre there, but he's managed to just keep the pressure on Nicky until he made the move. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the final stint goes for him. Yeah, I think he can do it.
Yeah, I agree, and he's stretching out his legs a bit from Nicky Visser now. Putting those soft tyres to good use. He needs to just stretch out a little bit more just to get rid of that DRS he's got.
I think he's pushing the engine a bit too much actually. He's every time I look at him he's got less than 10% ERS in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, Nicky's definitely going to close up a bit here. Save it. Save it. I don't want to see you change from mode 1 now. Keep it on mode 1. All the way till the end of sector 2. You can do it.
I'd actually be in 0 here.
Yeah. Yep. As would I. Oh, alright, Copper Mark Stappers here having a fight through the start of sector 2. Oh, bit of contact there between the Renault and the Williams. Looks to me more like that was Mark's fault than Ari's. Looks to be weaving a little bit and just made contact with his rear left tyre and Ari's right front wing. But no damage done. Is the main thing. I say that's definitely another warning for Nicky. I thought.
Yes, confirmed it was.
Please save your ERS, Paul. Please, mate.
Frustrating, isn't it?
You want to be his race engineer.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it is.
Damn it, save it, Paul! Save it for later. Damien Hartman up past all Kuhn Skippers and Damien Hartman fighting here through the start of Sector 2 up to turn 4 and 5.
Oh,
bit more side-by-side action.
And Sildavit and Droney, so it's just past him.
Very nice. Yeah, Kuhn Skippers maintains P8. Sildavit up to P6. Looking good. And, Boy Williamson on the back of this battle for P3 now. Nisham Adelsing and Baz Denbrayen ahead. Right, get out of mode 5, Paul. Mode 3, mate.
Yeah, because once you reach sort of 190 miles an hour, mode 5's going to do absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah.
You're just...
You can only go at a certain speed.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you go an infinite amount of speed because you're using it for a long time.
That's right. If we were racing in a vacuum, then yes, it would just keep
Yeah,
accelerating forever. But because of drag, there is a terminal velocity.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, if you're racing in a vacuum, you wouldn't move anywhere anyway. It's like, oh no, actually, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, you would, but you'd have absolutely no downforce.
Yeah.
So good luck keeping on the track.
Yeah, how would that work, racing in a vacuum? That'd be mad. Just have massive tyres. It'd be like the old cars again, wouldn't it? They'd all start to look like
Yeah.
the 80s cars.
That's it. Get rid of the wings.
Yeah.
Like, racing bathtubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this strategy with the ERS management is really hurting Paul's chances.
Yeah. Because especially because he's keeping Nicky with him. Nicky's just having a free ride here. With DRS, he can save all the ERS he likes, knowing that just by keeping with Paul, his tyres will eventually be quicker, and then he'll have the advantage.
Yeah, what Paul needs to do is save the ERS in the corners like this entire sector really, where he knows that a move is very difficult. He's very unlikely to be overtaken here, and then use it, mode 3 or 4 on the DRS zones.
Yeah.
To defend. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah, you've just got to be really stingy with it, really. Don't use it where you don't need to. And even if some places where you think you might need to, just maybe go down 1 or 2 modes than you think you should.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a second to Nicky now, which should hopefully keep him out of DRS, but I think he's going to have it again. Let's have a look. I can't quite tell. Yeah, that rear wing's open again, yeah, so he has just got it. And it's just deja vu. There's nothing Paul can really do. I've got to stop rhyming, honestly. This is getting ridiculous now.
Boy Williamson has just passed Denbrayen into turn 1.
Yeah, lovely stuff. So up to P3 then for the championship leader. With, I think, sort of it having the fastest lap at the moment. The difference is 3 points, which will not be enough. That'll leave a gap of 24 points come the end of this race. Tantalisingly close. The championship.
Was that Sildavit into the side of Denbrayen?
Oh no! Oh, reversing onto the track. That's dangerous. It reversed off the grass, then drove back onto it. That's a shame. What's his wing? I can't get a front view of his car. I can't quite tell what his damage is like on that front wing. The right side looks okay.
Left end plate.
It's left, is it? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I think that's still drivable, but it's definitely not going to make him any quicker.
I was riding with Denbrayen at the time of impact. I saw Denbrayen's hands sort of go in the air as if to say,
yeah,
what the hell
are you doing?
I didn't actually see anybody make contact with him, which would indicate that Sil was actually still behind him at the time of impact.
Okay. Lucky for Sil, Kuhn Skippers as well has got red wing damage on the right hand side, it looks like, so they're both pitting. Arikop now up to P8. And Quarry looking a bit comfortable with the DRS now. Looking good. We can start hopefully to stretch out that lead a bit. Come the straights and get out that DRS range of Nicky.
Yeah, I think he's realised that what he was doing wasn't working, and he's not going to be able to shake him.
It's good though. We're kind of being a part of watching Paul Quarry develop as a driver.
Yes.
And we're certainly seeing that in the recent rounds. I'm sure come season 8 he'll be quite a formidable force in the championship.
Oh yeah, 100%. If there's anyone that's going to be joining that big five, yeah, I think it will be Correa.
Yeah, PQ.
Nicky with another warning then as he cuts turn 2 for the sixth time, I believe.
Yeah, he can't be far from another one. Is it one apiece for Paul and Nicky at the moment?
Nicky's got 2. Paul has just 1, and he hasn't had a warning since he picked up that penalty, which is 12 laps ago.
Yeah, so Nicky has got to get past him and get a lead of over 3 seconds to maintain our position, which is good for Paul. Certainly a bit of pressure off. Not good for Nicky. And this could, I know we said at the beginning of the race we don't want it to be one that comes down to penalties, but depending on what Boy can do behind Nicky, it could come that way. I don't know what Boy. I know Boy had a few, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, I think Boy's got 9 seconds.
Ooh, okay.
Oh no! Sorry, I'll take that completely back. He's only got 3 seconds. Got 1 penalty. He's on his second additional warning. So if he gets 1 more warning, that will be a second penalty.
Okie dokie.
Still a bit fastest first sector on those brand new softs. So expect this to be the fastest lap of the race.
Very good. Oh no, he's lost the back end.
Oh, still.
Oh, no ghosting on, of course, and Kuhn Skippers has hit the McLaren. And I've got to say, I have to agree with the game on giving him that penalty. He was reversing there on that live track. He didn't keep the car still. I mean, who knows, whether or not he kept that car still if Kuhn could have avoided him, but certainly didn't help that he was moving when he came up to meet him.
Yeah, and also after he reversed on the track, he saw Kuhn approaching and was a bit like a rabbit in headlights. Just stopped the car dead. Unfortunately, it was right in front of Kuhn and just took him out.
The VSC and
Paul Craig 5-second penalty. Speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, Paul.
This might not be.
No,
it might not be so bad.
The medium's now to the end of the race. Hasn't got to stop again. He's done it under VSC, of course, which could be Aston Brenner's drive-through penalty under the safety car, so that could negate Baz's chances. That brings Paul closer to the front, and yeah, it could have been a bit of a stroke of genius stopping under the VSC there. Definitely got a quicker pit stop than you would have done normally.
Yes. I think it's a slightly big ask of the medium tyres to go to the end. They'll do it, certainly. But, yeah, I don't know what sort of condition they'll be in come the end. I think he's going to have to manage them a fair amount.
Well, we did say 30, didn't we, before? And, and obviously with the car getting lighter, it might be easier for them to do that. Perhaps.
I don't know what the furthest we've seen someone take the mediums. I suppose it's 23 laps, isn't it, on Aston Brenner's
I don't
car.
think, it's not particularly far yet, because we had the safety car, which kind of brought everyone in earlier.
The Brennan's in pit
really
now,
stretching
anyway.
out. Yeah. This will be his drive-through. He's not stopping now. That puts Paul back up to... Paul back up to P5. And well within pit stop windows of the drivers in front of him.
Yes, indeed. Am I right in thinking this is the first race that both racing points have retired from?
Yes, I think you are. Before that, it's only been one, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first couple of races. Was normally one driver retired until they both got they found their feet, and since then it's been pretty good going. But yeah, this has not been a race to remember for those two, unfortunately.
And I feel in both cases it's I was going to say in both cases no fault of their own, but I think Aston can only blame himself for crashing in the pit exit. Coon Skippers, that was completely not his fault. Yeah,
with the pit exit here, I keep it in. Paul Craig going P1 on the purple there, 112.0. With the pit exit here, I keep it in pit limit mode just for a smidge after leaving the pit lane.
Yeah,
just so I can get myself around the corner and then I release it, just so I don't put myself in the wall, because it is so easy to do.
Yep.
Sorry, Adrian.
No, sorry. Carry on.
I was just going to say, any other track, it would be like a big sin to crash in the pit lane, but I think here, it's one of those ones where you can be excused because it is just so easily done if you do put your foot down a bit too soon.
Yeah, like you said earlier on, it's a sort of a bit of a racetrack in itself.
Yeah.
The pit exit. Yes, I do the same thing with the pit limit at Brazil. Not Brazil. This is Brazil. At Belgium.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Brazil. Belgium. I don't do it for some reason. I think it's because at Belgium you can kind of get away with just doing full lock. And kind of letting the car coast from whatever it was released at, which speed it was released at, if that makes sense. So you can kind of just let it off and then turn the wheel, I find. Okay. But yeah, definitely another track where using it on exit is not a bad thing. Because right there you've got a hairpin as you leave the pit. So you've got another wall facing you as you leave the pit exit. Let's have a look, see what the YouTube is saying. Zander, well, this sucks. Yes, indeed, I'm afraid, Zander. It does suck a bit, I'm afraid. It's a shame your race went that way. What else have we got? MCL Joe says, any tips for running a league? Oh dear, where do I begin? a lot of spare time. Don't wear your heart on your sleeve, because you will end up crying at some point, that's for sure.
Try and please everyone.
Yeah, don't try and please everyone. Don't stretch yourself too far. Don't do loads of things thinking it'll make the league look great, and then no one really gives a plop. As Paul Correa goes fastest again. Also, just make your drivers happy, because if at the end of the day, if they want to race there, you've done your job of making a racing league. So if they want to race there, then you're doing the right thing. So don't try and do more than that unless they suggest something to you. Just keep doing what you do. That's what I'd suggest. And keep calm and carry on.
I don't know if you spotted there, Correa actually moved up to 4th place past Droney.
I spotted the fastest lap. I missed that.
Yeah, he did it as he crossed the line for the fastest lap. He also made the overtake.
I say, he's a fine specimen, Mr. Quarry. Get another rhyme there.
He's gained half a second on the leader, Vista.
Yeah.
Now 17.5 behind him.
So, Boy Williamson P2, Nicky Vista P1. As it stands, the gap come race end will be 20 points. And it will go on to Abu Dhabi. I think this will be enough to seal the championship for Ferrari though in the constructors, as it stands right now. So yes, there you go. There's that fun fact.
Is it definitely?
I'm pretty sure it's definitely... Ooh, it's definitely over 40 points. It's definitely... I mean, it's more than 50 points, I'm sure the gap is. So with it coming down by 7 after this race, I think it will still be more than 44. But it should give them the Constructors' Championship, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? 44 points is available for the last race, isn't it?
Yes, that's right, yeah. The gap is 62 points between the Ferrari and Toro Rosso. So Toro Rosso looking to take 25, possibly 26. That's they're only going to gain by 7.
Have you just? Did you say you just seen the gap?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Roger that. Just going to check. Oh, I've closed. Oh, what have I done? Hopefully that's back up. There you go. Sorry. I closed the Xbox app by accident, so you can just see my desktop for a moment there. No worries.
Nicky has to score at least 19 points more than Boy for Ferrari to not win the championship here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, not going to happen, is it? I don't think. Still a bit there, a 1:11.6. So we've seen those times tumble here as we've passed the halfway mark. And you are, of course, tuning in to F1 Tonight, Netherlands, Season 7, round number 20, the Brazilian Grand Prix. And the potential championship decider for both constructor and driver. But for the moment, it looks like it's set to continue to Abu Dhabi next week. But who knows? There is still 21 laps to go. And it can all happen. There's still definitely a pit stop left to go for both the leaders. So who knows? Do you know, Adrian?
No.
Copy that.
No idea.
Here's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Paul Quarry wins. Nicky Visser closes on him, but gets in a fight that Boy Williamson can capitalise on. He takes P2. Nicky Visser P3. Shock horror in the grid as Boy Williamson wins the championship. And it's uproar as Paul Quarry takes his first win. And it's all celebrations and happy days. What do you think?
Sounds about right.
Yep, cool.
I think that's quite accurate.
Let's see how it plays out.
New personal best for Boy Williamson, the 12.298. That's on 28-lap-old medium tyres. I think he's pushing the last bit of juice out of his rubber.
Yeah, indeed. That juicy rubber that he's running on.
You never squeezed any juice out of the...
Oh yeah, they're really squelchy, aren't they?
I know we often squeeze our Jesus.
Yeah.
Squeeze your rubber.
No. I really should try that. Squeeze the rubber. It'd be funny, wouldn't it, if you know they run on a wet track for whatever reason with dry tyres, and they're like, right, box, we need to squeeze your tyres. And they go, you've taken on too much water. We need to squeeze it out. There's just a guy on each wheel just with a foot pump, just pumping water out. Marcel droning in the pits then. 26 lap old mediums. Softs. He's taken those over for a long spin.
Yes, indeed.
Mark Stapper's back out then on... Oh, sorry, is that RE Cop? No. Yeah, Mark Stapper's back out on fresh softs. Marcel droning does the same. Paul Quarry up to P3 now. Past Nisha Powder saying he is on a charge.
Yeah, he's also closed the gap down then from when he left the pit. He was 18 seconds behind Visser. He's now just over 16 seconds behind Visser.
Yeah. Go on, Paul.
I think he's going to do it. I really do.
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, obviously penalties coming into this big time at the end. Could it be a "is that Glock" situation? as Paul weighs into this championship, perhaps at the end. Is that Quarry going slow?
Much AI gets out of the way. He's actually in the car at the moment. Is
just having a rest.
Having a bit of a rest. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Damien Hartman in the pit then for soft tyres.
Yeah, let's see what these leaders decide to do soon. Obviously 19 laps to go, well within the soft tyre life.
Expect all of these top 6 to come in.
Yeah, Damien Hartman in the pits, that's Basden Brain back up to P5. Keep an eye on Nicky Visser now, then as he comes round Potato. And down into Perino, I think that is, and then up to Jun Chao. Jun Chao?
It's probably Hun, if it's a J.
Jun Chao. And in comes Nicky Visser. Into the pitos. The potatoes. And Boy Williamson then staying out. He's going for the overcut of sorts. We'll see how that works for him. Paul Quarry down the main straight. As Nicky Visser's car is released. Paul Quarry then round turn 1 and down the centre S's. Nicky Visser on the inside on a racetrack 2.0. And Paul Quarry leads this race. Nishay Mahadur Singh right behind him. Nishay could factor into this, depending on how far he takes these mediums.
But you've just said Paul Quarry leads this race. Obviously, there is Boy Williamson ahead of him, but he
sorry.
will be coming in.
I got a bit excited. It's like, yeah, he leads it now. Oh, not quite yet. But nice gap to Nicky, 4 seconds, with Nishay in between, and penalties to apply to Nicky as well. So, as Sebastian Vettel's chief engineer once said to Sebastian Vettel, "It's looking good, sunshine."
Imagine calling Sebastian Vettel sunshine.
Well, he was only about 15 when he won his first championship. So I bet he came in, he rubbed his knuckles on his head. And well done, mate. You little rascal. Boy, staying out. I mean, I don't know what he's aiming to gain from this, but fair play.
I think perhaps he's just looking to push the soft tyres that bit extra harder without having to worry about any sort of management at all. You know, he wants to do hot lap after hot lap on them.
Yeah. Yeah, very good point. And that gap, though, it's coming down scarily quick between Nicky and Paul. And yeah, I mean, he's got Nishay to contend with, so maybe Nishay can put a bit of a roadblock up. But yeah, he certainly looks very quick on those soft tyres right now.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for Paul to hold Visser off.
No, but he's just got to make that car as wide as he can and hope that the penalties play into it at the end. And I mean, bearing in mind this traffic that Nicky's got to contend with, I know it's only 2 cars, they're all on tyres that can't really compete with Nicky's fresh softs, but that traffic could, of course, help Boy's race.
Yeah. Yep.
As he comes into the pits now, he's in his pit box, tyres off, new ones on, and he's got 2 lap fresher softs than Nicky. Nicky around turn 1, Boy's still rolling down the pit lane at the moment, so he's going to be... Oh, he was about 6 seconds behind before the pit stop for Nicky, so I would say maybe 8 seconds now. Come back out. Given Nicky's pace.
Yeah, Nicky's just passed...
yeah, bang on. Bang on 8 seconds. I'm here all week. Hashtag nailed it. Right.
1.5 seconds gained on Correa by Visser on that lap.
If Paul
about 1.5 behind.
I don't think Nicky's tyres are going to wear out by the end of this race, are they, either? It's just not. It's not
No.
long enough really to kind of make them start to deteriorate enough.
Yeah, I mean they might sort of match the pace of the mediums on the last 3 laps or so, but yeah, by then it's better to have got the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, and Paul is pushing like a madman again. The ERS. Niche into the pits. That's going to release Boy up into P3. As we. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say that might have been a warning for Correa. No, it wasn't. He got away with that. Okay. Still no warning since his last penalty.
And just to confirm, it still stands with Nicky on 2 penalties and Boy on 3. Is that right? 9 seconds and 6 seconds.
Nicky's got 3.
Yeah.
And that's what you said, wasn't it? Sorry,
I said Boy had 3. Nicky had 2. That's what I thought.
Boy's just got 1 penalty. Boy has 1 penalty.
And Nicky's got 3.
Nicky's got 3.
Okay. So, Boy has got to finish within 6 seconds. And I think it can be done. To win the World Championship, people. Stay tuned. And the more intense it gets, the more closer my mouth will get to the mic, and it'll get very intense, just like this. Blue flags coming up.
Nicky on,
he's got on the grass. He's got on the grass a bit. Oh. Paul's still hiding the inside, and I think he might. Is he going to have DRS? Nope. No, yeah, he will. He opened it a bit late. But yeah, he's still got it. Oh, Nicky, you got to be careful, man. Get too close, you knock a bit of front wing off. That's it. The game's up.
I think Nicky's also aware of Boy closing in on him, and obviously with the penalties that Nicky's got.
Yeah.
If he does get like you just said, if he does get within 6 seconds of him, then he wins the championship. So pressure on Nicky to get this move on Paul done.
The pressure is on. Terry Card saying the stream's gone. Hopefully that was in reaction to my desktop showing, and it is still there. It's definitely still showing for me, so fingers crossed you're not missing this. Otherwise it's going to be a fantastic radio show for the rest of this race. 14 laps remaining.
Yeah, it's definitely live. Definitely.
Yeah. It's definitely live for me as well. And Nicky has got DRS. He's made the move around the outside, and that's mission accomplished for now for Nicky. Boy just needs to get into gear really, and close down that gap. He's 1.1 seconds away from a world title, and that'll be enough, I think, to push him on.
Nicky picked up another warning just after he made the move on Paul into turn 1.
Yeah, and that'll be so another penalty will be 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And that will do it. That will do it because Boy's got 3. So that's going to put him down to 9 seconds away from Nicky. But Nicky's 12. I'll put him behind Boy at the end of this. If he gets another penalty, bear in mind. So it's not that way currently, just so everyone is aware.
Yeah, just to clarify right now, Boy needs to finish within 6 of the race leader, Nicky.
Yeah, and it's 6.5. 6.4. It's coming down, people. Get excited. Can I get a yeah in the comments?
I'm showing 7.8 to the race leader. I'm showing 6.5.
Oh yeah, shit. I'm looking. Oh, I'm sorry to swear. I'm looking at the gap to Paul. Damn it. Okay, can I still get a yeah?
Yeah.
All my single boys go ayo. Alright, hang on, what do I want? Gap to the leader, that's all I'm going to show now. Gap to the leader is all you're going to get for this race, people. Too important. 7.8 seconds. And here he is, that man right there is hunting down his first championship tonight. It's not out the window, don't forget, if you can't do it here, of course, but the sooner the better, in my eyes. 7.7, slowly teetering down to Boy on 2 lap newer. tyres than the race leader Nicky Visser. And what Boy needs is just continue to close that gap down to Paul and try and hook on to the back of that Mercedes and get some DRS out of this. I mean, if he gets that close to Paul, it'll be done anyway. That letter will be So, oh, blimey! Did you see Nicky get off track then?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's looking at.
Probably the gap.
Yeah, blimey! He almost cost himself the everything. I must say,
Yeah,
he looks a bit skittish, Nicky, at the moment. I think that pressure, he's definitely feeling that. 7.6 seconds to Boy now. 11 laps to go.
Well, for Nicky right now, it's kind of all or nothing, isn't it? It's you know, almost at the very end of the championship, Boy's got a chance to actually win the championship here. If Nicky isn't able to keep 6 seconds ahead of him, so yeah, it's kind of all or nothing, as I say.
Yeah. And how many warnings has Nicky had since that last penalty? Do you think 2 or 1?
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Okay.
Well, it's showing penalty plus warning and then a separate warning. Is that 2?
Not sure. Could be. We'll find out if he gets a penalty the next time he cuts the corner, I suppose. 7. It's steady around 7.7, and it's just Nicky who's got that raw pace around this track.
Well, you say that they've just set almost the exact same lap time on that last lap, but Boy did it using a little bit less ERS than Nicky did.
Okay, 7.9 though. Yeah, Boy's definitely easing up a little bit, at least, maybe to try and conserve conserve his tyres, maybe some energy as well, and go for another pushy lap a bit later.
Yeah, he lost 2 tenths in the first sector, and actually Nicky is he's just at the purple second sector.
Yeah.
This may be fastest lap of the race so far.
It could be. Looks like it's going to be 110 something. Oh no, it was a 110.8 on his wheel.
Yeah, 10.879. Don't know what the fastest lap actually is. It's 10.566 for Damien Hartman.
Yeah. At 8.2 seconds. Sorry, no, Adrian, go on.
I was going to say, only those 2 drivers have actually got under the 111 mark.
Yeah. 8.1 seconds. That gap's slowly creeping up now. I think this is going to come down to penalties.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the end, if it does result in a win. I mean, Paul Quarret right now is still going to win this race.
Yes.
So don't forget that. Paul's just got to keep within 9 seconds of Nicky, with 9 laps to go. What's he losing to Nicky around? What's he losing to him a lap, do you think? Is it a second?
It's just over 1.7 on that lap, but no, Nicky was pushing hard.
Yeah.
That lap just gone, 0.8 lost.
Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be close for sure. Obviously, Nicky can't keep putting in those laps forever.
No.
Like forever?
Forever?
But we are 8 laps away from finding out if Boy Williamson will become world champion and indeed become the boy.
or the boy becomes a man.
Yeah. Very good, very good.
The boy, is that like the Michael?
Yeah. The Michael. Pass around the outside, I make a good move, and I pass the back marker, and I pass the Michael at the same time. It's great. That's them brain fastest, 110.1.
Wow.
He's on the move. So, 10 points is the gap. 17 points right now come Abu Dhabi. Which is certainly going to make things slightly easier for Nicky. But it still looks fairly certain for Boy regardless. The 17-point lead going into the last race. He's got to finish within...
it will need sixth place. Will confirm
regardless
it, no
of where Nicky finishes.
Yeah.
Sixth place, yeah, 8 points, yeah. Will it be more than that? Because 8 points are they given 25, won't it? You might need to finish 5th.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, 5th.
Yeah. Yellow in sector 2. All clear by the looks of it. Maybe just a little bit of an off. Somebody. 6 laps to go. And Paul Quarry, 5.5 seconds behind your race leader. 9 seconds is the what's the word? The glory zone? The glory hole? The glory region. The happy area.
Well, Correa has 2 penalties.
Damn it! I thought it was just what I thought it was. Oh, poop! Yeah, it's all over. I'm bigging up for ages, not forgetting about Paul's penalties. Paul's penalties. Sounds like a little after race program.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, to Paul's penalties.
Factor,
yeah. Right, so he's got to finish within 3 seconds of Nicky to win this, so it's all over. You can tune out now, guys, if you want. Boring now.
Yeah, that's it.
I wish you hadn't told me. I was making it really exciting.
Sorry, I should.
God. Oh well, no, it's just my stupidity. It's like Crofty and Brundle.
Yeah.
Like, actually, mate, I think you mean this. You idiot. Well, I think it looks like we're destined to go to Abu Dhabi. As it stands, Paul Quarry will finish this race not only P2 but a man. Pop the podium cherry with a pop of the champagne all over his face. A bit like a Lando Norris.
Good to see. I know I don't want to jinx them at the moment, but Renault picking up some points for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
It'll be 4 points. So I think they're only on 14 at the moment, so that's huge for them.
Yeah. That is good. 27 for Haas, who are next up in the championship. So no Haas drivers here tonight.
No, Barry Vane and Neil Ziekma both absent. Sorry, I didn't mention those. I normally only mention them if at least one of them's
yeah.
there.
So yeah, none of them here at all. And of course that'll give them a gap of 9 points going to the last race. So if Renault can get a good Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, they could take P9.
Yep. Damie Hartman looks like he's going to take P4 away from Mahadra's thing sometime very soon.
Sometime in the near future.
Should have it done here, really.
Boy is really caught up to Paul Quarry now. Perhaps a bit of DRS here. Davey Hartman there gets past down the back straight. Up to P4. Really good comeback drive from Damie.
Yeah.
Back up to P4. And potentially a no, not a podium. That's a negative. I'm just trying to pick up everyone's race. Alright, Cops on for the win.
One day.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah. He's definitely definitely a drive. He could be like a future Paul Quarry. A bit further towards the front every season. Got Mark Stapper's off, in sector 3.
I saw a yellow car and I thought, oh no, that's poor. Peter even.
You know what's funny about the I think it was quali in Austria in the real Grand Prix. They kept waving yellows in sector 3 for what was going on in sector 2. Did you realise that?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, because when Bottas went off, they were waving. It said yellows in sector 3, and he was in sector 2 when he went off. Well, do you not even know what track you're at? So how short was sector 2? Was it between like? Was it down the back straight and that's it?
Yeah,
That's how they were making it out.
It's just turn end of
turn
just
4
after
to turn 8,
four,
isn't it? Ish.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that, yeah. Well, no, sorry, it's down the back straight, isn't it, with DRS? No, Nicky Visser, another penalty. That's 12. It's still not good for Paul. He's got to finish within 6 seconds to win this now. Boy's got how many? 1?
Yeah, he's got 1, so he's got to finish within 9 seconds, and he is 9 seconds away.
Oh! It's just got exciting, people.
Paul's gone off.
Quick!
Paul's gone wide even.
Quick, everyone tune in, grab your friends. Oh, it's 9.2, 9 point... No, oh, come on, Paul. I mean, boy. You can do it.
It was dealing with getting past Correa. There was a little bit of
Yay. Oh man. Oh man. There's 2 laps to go. There's 2 tenths in this World Championship. He's got clean air now. Come on, boy. Sorry, I'm not being biased here, but this... You've got to egg him on. It's his first title.
It's like good versus evil, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, but you know, you just want the person that... I think we've cheered on many drivers in this season. It's not just always been one.
No.
It's just the people that are in the right place at the right time. You're like, oh, God, they could do something good here. Go on, do it. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, and it's always nice to see a driver pick up their first World Championship, or be in a position to clinch it.
Yeah, and of course Nicky did it this time last season at this Grand Prix. And
that was his first.
Yeah. We're chasing down his second. But boy's been a big hurdle in that challenge for him this season. And, oh, 9.2 now, 9.2. It's hovering.
Personal best in the first sector for Boy Williamson.
Come on, boy. There's 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go, everybody. This is going to be it. Strap yourselves in.
Nicky's got no ERS for this last lap.
Get your popcorn out, everyone. Come on. I'm getting way too excited.
I think he's going to do it, you know.
Right, the last lap of this race. And there is 2 tenths in this championship right now. Nicky Visser has 12 seconds of penalties. Boy Williamson has 3 seconds. He needs to finish within 9 seconds of Nicky Visser to win the world title. It's 9.089 seconns. We'll stick a ball with Nicky because he's done absolutely everything he needs to do to defend this title to the very last moment. He's not got much ERS, but actually he's saving quite a good bit. Boy isn't, so maybe Boy needs to save some because Nicky's going to be punching down this back straight to finish the race. The gap's 9.2. But now at least it's going to be enough. Nicky Visser comes round. Final couple of corners, started P2. Did a great job to get back up to the front. And he wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Keeps championship fight going on to Abu Dhabi. As it stands, I think it's going to carry on anyway. Oh. And he's done it by... Oh, no, he had more than... Did he have more than 2 penalties, Boy?
I think he had an extra penalty.
Oh, okay. Well, it was really exciting anyway for the last couple of laps.
Oh, good.
And Boy Williamson then finishes P2 with a difference of, I think, 7 points. Yeah, 7 points between them. So 20 points between them going to the last Grand Prix of the season next week. Paul Quarry gets his maiden podium. A massive congrats to him. He's done a great job from wherever he started. P7 to get onto the podium on merit. Brilliant job for him. Damien Hartman, great comeback, albeit from pole, but to finish back from 4th from the back of the grid. Awesome job for him. Nisha Madison finishes 5th. He's flying the flag for the British team. Just ahead of his teammate Sildavit. He's had a bit of a tricky race there. Marcel Droning in P6. Great finish for Red Bull. He's obviously taking the points for the team on his own today. And that'll be good for them, actually, because obviously it's a Racing Point ahead of them. None of them finishing. And that's a nice 8 points for Marcel. Puts them to 142 points, I believe. 24 points behind Racing Point going into the last race. And now for the champagne!
Driver of the day, Dan?
Driver of the day! Well, it's only one man for it, isn't there, really?
And who's that then?
I'm just gonna keep you in suspense. He's made my day. It's Paul Quarry. Hey! He's your driver of the day. We're just going through the runners and riders quickly, just as they finished. Peter Philip then was P8 for Renault. Mazda Brian in 9th for Alfa Romeo, so another good points finish for the 2 Alfa Romeos. Even though both of them suffering a bit there with a collision in the race. Ari Kopp then takes the last point for Williams in P10. Mark Stappers finishes 11th with Kuhn Skippers. Aston Eagle Mears and Zana Hermans retiring from the race.
Great drive from Dronig as well, and no penalties. One of only 2 drivers to have finished and not got any penalties. He started 12th as well, made it up to 6th place in the end. Very good.
Yeah, really, really good race actually in the end.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, was good. And there you go. There's your end screen for this race. Paul Cray at top there. He's your driver of the day, or our driver of the day, not yours, because you didn't get a say. That's our driver of the day. Obviously, you can say yours in the comments if you like, and we'll read them out quickly before the end of the race. So vote now. But we're back next week for the the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the season finale. 20 points separating the championship leaders. And it's all to play for-ish for the championship. But looking good for Boy Williamson. So we're back next week. Thursday, 16th of July at 7:30 p.m. British summertime. 8:30 p.m. Central European summertime, of course. And at the Yas Marina circuit next week for us. Let's just have a quick look in the comments, see what's going on before we finish. Terry Card, good race, guys. Hoping we have a classy battle between the top 2 next week. I'm sure we will. That's about it, really. That's all that's been said. So, with that being about all it for the comments, it's about all it from us as well. So, anything for you to add, Adrian?
Not really. Only that, just to confirm, then Boy Williamson needs 7th place in next week's race to win the championship, regardless of anything else that happens. He, if Nicky wins and gets the fastest lap, they will tie on points, but Boy will win it on the countbacks. Yeah. So it's certainly good for Boy, but Nicky's done a fantastic job to keep the fight going right to the very end, and I'm sure next week will be a good battle. Hopefully we'll see hopefully all of the drivers, bar John, of course. John on a bit of a paternity break at the moment with his new little one. But yeah, hopefully 19 drivers next week, fingers crossed, and an almost full grid. That would be brilliant. But yeah, nothing else from me to add. So it's, as always, nothing from you, just to confirm? Confirmed.
All clear? Clear! And it's, as always, a huzzah from me.
And it's goodbye from me, goodbye.